It's October 24th. Lionsgate portal is opening in October this year, 2022. The intensity, well, the alignment is aligning up with might be Saturn. They could do something like serious. There's the energy they got working, the lunar frequency they got manipulating with Saturn is like a replica of how Sirius connects to Kai. So boom. Let's get to I just want to talk about something called CVID. This is a common variable immunodeficiency. It sounds like, you know what, without the O. So CVID is an immune disorder characterized. It's an immune disorder. It's an immune disorder characterized by recent infections and low antibody levels. Low antibody levels come from red blood destruction, red blood cell, pathological red blood destruction. And in medical terms, that is called lysis. Thing that comes from this sigma is a heterolysis, right? But we're gonna get into that in another video. So boom, I'm gonna just get this out the way. So boom, common variable immunodeficiency is called CVID. CVID. Remember what I said about the alphabet? It's part of the 3693 energy. So it gives power to when you use a certain letter from above and below. So these letters holding different energies, different notes, all types of shit. It's hertz, right? So boom. Alright, so it is an immune disorder characterized by recurrent infectors and low antibody levels, specifically in the immunoglobulin. That's tying down to your hemoglobin. Your hemoglobin transfer your proteins and your red blood cells to your respiratory system. Remember what I just said? Your hemoglobin transports your proteins to your respiratory system. Sounds like spike proteins, right? But also when you're intaking a lot of meat daily, which also makes you hungry, and makes your metabolism slow up as time goes past, or as these energy cycles go through, because it's dealing with your cells and the way you eat. Also, that's going to produce more mucus. So when something comes in your air as a pollutant, you can breathe it in, and now as it soaks inside of your mucus, it causes a reaction or a mutation, right? Because as pathological blood destruction going on, another virus could take over. It's the cell if you let it, right? But a lot of us are built certain differently, and I'm not about to get into that because it's really about everybody right now. So look, alright, so common variable immunodeficiency is an immune disorder characterized by recurrent infections and low antibody levels, specifically in immunoglobulin. Types generally symptoms include high stability to foreign invaders, chronic lung disease, and inflammation and infection in the gastrointestinal tract. It affects males and females equally. The condition can be found in children diagnosed 20 to 50. However, symptoms vary greatly between people. Variables refers to the heterogeneous, remember I said heterolysis, refers to, or variable goes to delta and variant. Look up the meanings of both and every way they use it. Science, writing, Greek, Latin, Hebrew, all that shit. Look it all up and just write it down. And then your brain's gonna pick up the similarities. Feel me? So look, if you can't remember shit all the time, which is okay, it's going to get back right. But you just gotta get it back right. So that's just a practice. So look, so it affects males and females equally. The condition can be found diagnosed at 20 to 50. However, symptoms vary greatly between people. Variable refers to the heterogeneous clinical manifestation of the disorder. Because it's a heterogeneous, it's different cells being put together and then making it, especially from animals, is making it an uncontrollable disorder. Like once the sign hits it, it mutates into something else, and then you get all these different types of diseases and shit. But let me get back to this. So, clinical manifestation of the disorder, which includes recurrent bacterial infections, increased risk for autoimmune disease, and lymphoma, dealing with your lymph nodes, making blockages. So now you're making blockages, you're making blood clots. Feel me? And inside of them blood clots are where it's blocked up. Like say you had a dam, right? Say you're in the Nile River, dam here, you controlling the middle of it. Now you poisoning shit that's going everywhere else while the other shit's flowing. Just so you can have a little peripheral shit with it. So boom. That's how your body is. Like those blood clots are like dams. And they become blood clots because it's like building up sediments in your veins and shit. So as that does that causes pressure. It doesn't make a flow. Your brain, everything's supposed to flow. So then that goes up to your brain. It causes headaches and shit. So whenever you have a headache and shit, that's because your blood flow is not. You need to start eating right. You need to detox. Like people believe in religions and shit. Just look at Jesus. Like, bro, low key was grounding. He went out in the desert or whatever for 40 days, 40 nights. That was grounding, nigga. For real. Bro, was grounded. The water, fasting. Because even though they was the same person, it showed you higher self, lower self. And then what happens when you balance self during some times like this? Because whatever that's going on back then is going on right now. So, yeah, you could use that as a good tool. Like, the book is a good tool, but, like, you gotta know what it's talking about. Because there's some lies, it's switched up, all type of shit taken out. Like, shit that was taken out showed lower self for the same person. Feel me? Pretty much shit that everyone go through. But it was a test. Brad knew what was going on the whole time. And they was learning off of him. Because that's called Xenia, Greek hospitality. Those 12 disciples, nigga, they were watching him. Feel me? That was like the guards, like his guardians. You feel me? Like, alright, let's get it. Alright. Anyways, back to this. Increased risk for autoimmune disease and lymphoma as gastrointestinal disease. COVID is a long time disease. Crazy thing about these hurts that come from the sun It's harmonic frequencies. It's music. So it's shooting off different hertz. Even if you hear it or not, you might hear a ring because it's louder than what you used to, right? But if you do feel it, if you think frequencies or text messages and where they got the idea from, like it's sending you a message. Like your soul is frequencies, right? So that's what they scared of, cause Sirius is connected, right? Cause I feel like Gemini constellation has something to do with it. Sirius, Canis Major or Minor, one of them. Like I don't want to speak too much on that right now, but it has something to do with the tri-solar system, but it might be a quad solar system or more. Like I feel like maybe all the solar systems are like might actually join together. Like probably about like 30, well, year 3693, some shit. So like back on this shit. Alright. The cause of CVID is poorly understood. Deletions in genes that encode cell surface proteins and cytokine receptors such as CD19, CD20, CD21, and CD8 is likely the cause. Let me read that again. The cause of CVID is poorly misunderstood. The cause of CVID is poorly understood. The niggas people been listening to, they poorly already got the shit misunderstood. They already knew about this shit for years, right? Something happened and they was like, fuck it. Because they knew what was about to happen. They was trying to interfere a cycle like they've been doing. But now, since they studies from the magnetics field, they want to fuck with your magnetism and the electricity in you and manipulate it like they've been doing on the grid. Now that their grid going down, they have to manipulate the people because they need to see who's divine, right? This is what the social media shit about too. It's always been. It ties down to PSI or Phi. Well, PSI deals with your social security and GPS satellites. Just like these water meters they've been putting in fucking apartments called Century Plus. You really look where that company come from. It deals with 5G and satellites and shit because they manipulate the waters to generate power. Feel me? Off topic, but at the same time I'm not, because the xenobots is in that shit. Dealing with surface proteins, they're talking about amino acids, because your amino acids is the code to